Hello, welcome to Access. My name's Rob. Joining us is Ash.
Hello.
And Ash, this is God of War on PC. This is a first for the channel. We're showing gameplay on PC, but it is God of War, which is releasing on PC this Friday, the 14th of January. And that has basically just given us an excuse to talk about God of War again, because my God, what an amazing game.
It's so good. Like any excuse, I'll take it. It just
know.
looks amazing. I'm excited to see it on my screen again.
So we have captured, this is like all from the first hour of the game. So if you're a PC gamer and if this is your first time on PlayStation Access, welcome. And if you've not played God of War before, we're only going to be showing you gameplay from the first hour or so of the game. So, you know, spoilers for the first hour of the game. But you're not going to be seeing any major story spoilers here. We are capturing this on ultra graphics. Ooh. And at 60 frames per second. It does go up to 120 frames per second if your PC can handle it. And we are using the keyboard and mouse to control it, but you can use a traditional controller if you prefer. I was playing it using a DualSense wireless controller earlier, and it felt wonderful. But yes, this is PC gameplay, and as I said, it's just an excuse to talk about God of War again. I love this scene, Ash, because it's the first time you see Kratos in the game, and immediately there's just so much emotion on his face.
Oh, it's so good. The emotional,
Kratos.
Just the emotional punches of this. The meaty combat punches, but also the emotional ones are so well crafted. Just every moment in close up. And when Atreus comes in and he's here with his little flower, and you know something kind of just intense and deep is happening for both of them. Obviously, we're seeing Kratos as a father again, which is exciting and scary and strange.
Yeah, it didn't go so well for him the first time round, did it? The whole fatherhood thing.
No.
But I love how much story is told, not through the dialogue or the script, but just through Kratos' face.
Yeah.
You can just see it all in his face. That's like, if you don't know anything about Kratos, he's very strong. There he is, just picking up a tree. Kratos can do that.
I like that as your description of him. If you don't know anything about Kratos, he's strong.
He's very strong. That's the first thing you should know. Kratos is very strong.
And he's also very angry. There you go. Those are the two things.
Well, he's not as angry in this game. Well, yeah, he sort of is. But it's more of a controlled, you can see it bubbling away underneath the surface. How does he do this? Look at how he's handling it. That he's just like, the physics don't make sense.
I know.
He's very strong.
Literally him with a cream eclair, but it's actually a whole massive tree.
Just everything about this world, it's just such a beautiful place to explore.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Like, being able to jump in the boat and go around different places. Obviously, this comes in a little bit more later in the game, so I won't talk too much about that. But having your little boat that you can ride through. I love this when the credits pop up as well, like in this bit, like, and you can go through and see little names, and it feels like the beginning of God of War. Like, it's there. It's happening.
It really, it's a big difference as well from the previous games. Like, it's quite understated with it. It's beautiful and epic in a different way.
Yeah.
In a slightly more mature way, you would say.
Yeah, definitely.
In a sense that sort of mirrors the journey that Kratos' character has been on. And this is Atreus, obviously, right at the beginning of the game. He's lighting candles for his mother, who's here, dead.
Dead.
Yes.
Dead. There's the descriptions of the characters. Yeah. Kratos strong.
Atreus' mother, dead. Atreus, boy.
He's here as well. I think the shift into Norse mythology for this one obviously is something we've got to talk about because it's fantastic. Yeah. And the playing into all of the myths and legends.
Oh, look at him. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no,
I love that
it's
shot,
good.
Though.
It's good. He's so imposing, and so he doesn't need to say anything. I love how little he says because he doesn't need to throughout the whole game. It's just grunts and being gruff, and Atreus is speaking enough for both of them because Kratos says everything with his face and his chest as well.
And it's just stance. I mean, I love that bit where it's quite sad, and then it pans around to Kratos blocking the light out of the door, this big moody silhouette, and the music's like, oh, no. That's the Kratos theme.
Oh, so good. The music and the voice acting and the acting in general, just all of it is put together so well. Obviously, you can't hear the music and voice acting right now because we're talking over it. But when you get in there...
Welcome to the game, people who've not played it before.
when you get in there and experience it for yourself, it's the most immersive, magical. Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited for a whole new audience and range of people to get to play this game.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's wonderful that it's kind of spreading its roots.
I am quite jealous. I'm quite jealous of anyone who gets to experience this for the first time again. Because I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that this game, probably one of the best action-adventure games ever made.
Absolutely.
Like, it is that good.
I don't think you can even say that with question in your voice. I think
No.
it surely is. I'm losing track of my words because it's so good. It's amazing. And you can just see all the little, just there's so much feeling in just shots and frames and all of this over shoulder camera that you get with Kratos. It makes it feel like one big, long cinematic adventure because you're
still
constantly
opens
with
crates by smashing them, though.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that. I like how different you get so much character building is done by how the character does things just generally as the game is progressing. And you learn a lot about Kratos just from the way he does things, the way he opens a treasure chest.
Yeah.
He punches the treasure chest. He doesn't open it. He's not interested in locks or hinges. He just punches through the top of it.
You know, if you could, you would though, wouldn't you? Like if I could open things that way,
Yeah.
just easily, I think I would. I'd just a flex.
It's like Isaac Clarke in Dead Space. He just stamps things open
Yeah.
with his feet. This is my favourite mechanic of the game, recalling the Leviathan axe.
Oh, so good. That's all I ever say about this game is so good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you just lose vocabulary when it comes to it. Because when you step into this world, you truly are there. Everything feels like real. The mechanics of the axe and the satisfaction of the combat is unreal. It's just you really do feel like it's thunking back into your hand and you're launching it through an enemy, and you can be tactical and strategic with it and get it through a couple at once, or you can just hack away as much as you want. And the game is so forgiving with just wanting to wail on people, which I enjoy a lot.
And here is some combat. Now we're using the keyboard and the mouse. I'm not used to using a keyboard and a mouse to control games. Obviously, I'm very much a PlayStation console player, but it did feel pretty intuitive, and I was able to pick it up very, very quickly. It's the traditional movement on the keyboard, WASD to move forward, back, left and right. It's left click for a light attack, right click for a heavy attack, Q is block with your shield, and dodge you press spacebar plus one of the directions. So everything, if you can picture a keyboard and all those buttons I've just said, everything is within reach with one hand, and you can use the mouse also to move the camera around like I'm doing there.
I really like the sound of sorry, just to jump in there, I really like the sound of the two mouse buttons being your combat buttons, just because like they're just right at your fingertips. Like, I feel that kind of goes in with the game, doesn't it?
And here's me doing some expert dodging against the first boss. But yeah, I was surprised how quickly I was able to pick it up. I was like, oh god, I'm gonna have to control a game using a keyboard, you know. I never play games like that. But yeah, I was able to take down this boss.
Oh, look how good it is!
In a very satisfying manner. But as I said previously, if you prefer to play the game using a traditional controller, you can hook up. We hooked up a DualSense wireless controller to the PC and we're playing it with that. So you can play it however you like.
Kratos does not judge.
No.
No, I think the boss fight obviously is a big part of God of War, and this is your first kind of taste of what it means to take down a big enemy, and that is not as big as it gets. They get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I mean, that's like a tiny little flea compared to some of the bigger God of War enemies. But in the interest of people who are watching this video and who've maybe not played the game before, we won't spoil anything.
Just know it's good.
So we're coming up to sort of the climax of the gameplay in this video, and it's, I think, one of my favourite moments from the entire game. And I spoke about that moment in another video that is on the channel right now, that we released earlier today. It's a fight against someone they're called the Stranger. They're called the Stranger in this part of the game.
Yes.
So we're back in the hut now.
Oh, it's coming. He's coming.
And Kratos has a little father-son bonding moment here.
Oh yeah,
he's
looks
not
like bonding.
He's not a patient man. Dad, I don't know how to... Don't tell me you don't know how to do things, boy. Just do them better.
Just the expression, the tension between them, the kind of figuring out this father-son relationship and the way they hammer through it is, oh my God, it's so real.
Here he is, Ash. Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, let me in.
Who is it?
I mean, you would let him in, wouldn't you?
I mean, after you were saying that the stranger is hot, like that was the first
He's a handsome man.
time I've ever looked at him and think, would it, apparently he is. I'm assuming you're not alone in this opinion.
No, absolutely not. No, I was surprised that nobody else agreed with me straight away. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, ooh, hey. Like, he's a good-looking man. He's covered in tattoos. He's super strong. He's a bit sassy.
Are you a fan of the tattoos?
I do like his tattoos. I think they're very good. I like Kratos' tattoo as well. I just like everyone. I like all the tattoos in this game. They're all proper, like, the Norse mythology again coming into it and kind of playing into the looks of these characters and how they, present themselves is just, I honestly, all I keep saying is good because it is. It's so, just...
Think of another word.
Good. It's just so good. It's represented really, really well.
This is what I like.
Yeah.
This fight is... you've only just met this guy, and already you might think he's hot, but already you do hate him. Like you hate him straight away.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's an awful weasel.
The first words that come out of his mouth, you're like, oh, I hate you. And so the emotional stakes in this battle, especially when you consider this is like half an hour into the game.
Yeah.
Already you're so emotionally invested in beating this guy, like. It's not just a boss at the end of the first level. You properly hate this guy and you are desperate to beat him.
I think that's part of the appeal, to be honest,
yes.
is just wanting to absolutely paste him.
Absolutely. And look at that. Just smashing him through the trees. Oh, the whole environment just trees splintering, snow kicking up. It's such an epic fight.
That you get to use your environment in these kind of cinematic ways as well, like where he is pulling things out of the ground and that shot is so
laughing
good.
Face, have some of this.
Just so satisfying. But yeah, that you get to kind of interact with the environment in these really aggressive, violent ways and see the power of Kratos and how it kind of comes together with the power of the stranger and how they're wrestling for just literally the tiniest pip of who's going to win this fight. It's so close.
I love this. Kratos just punches a bit of, what would you call that? It's not a rock, is it? It's like a
cliff?
A monolith. He punches a cliff and then throws the cliff on top of the stranger. The stranger's not done. He throws the cliff back at Kratos, who blocks the cliff with his shield.
This is turning into like fight commentary.
It's like, this is anime as it gets, really, isn't it?
Here he is with the fist grab, and they're leaning on each other, and the ground is parting right now.
Look at it! Look at how that is. Look what's happening.
Oh, it's like superheroes, but done in a much more visceral way.
In a much more tattooed way.
Yeah, which is fine by me.
Tattoos and blood and beards.
Oh!
And Norse mythology.
The myths of this game are amazing. I don't think we're going to see too much in the beginning. That's something that you get to explore yourself later on. But yeah, just even if you're not familiar with Norse mythology, it's amazingly detailed and interesting and immersive, and like you're in a story. There's loads of opportunities to listen to the tales of Norse mythology and kind of get yourself into it and kind of understand the world around you within the game. Like it's very good for newcomers to it and people who are familiar with the stories, or have seen media with Thor, and that's like, I'm thinking of more like popular films that have these legends in them. Seeing them kind of interpreted in a new way is amazing.
Is it good?
Amazing. I stopped myself.
Well, we're nearing the end of our gameplay now. That is like a little taste of God of War on PC.
And delicious it is.
Please let us know in the comments if you are one of those lucky people who's never played God of War before and is going to be picking it up this Friday on PC and playing it for the first time. I'm very jealous of you.
Yes.
Please let us know what you make of the game. If you're a regular to the channel, let us know what you think of the game running on PC. Do you want to see more videos of PlayStation Studios games coming out on PC? Do you want to see more gameplay like this? Please do let us know in the comments. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And click the notification bell so you never miss out on anything from the world of PlayStation.
PlayStation